Alright guys, we're back with the F150. We got the right calipers now. I think we got the right ones. The other ones they sent us, the bolt didn't clear the little sleeve. This one does, so I think we're good. I'm gonna remove this one and we're gonna put this one in place. See if it fits, but I think this is the right one. But alright, it comes with the crush washers, the hose line bolt, and then the hardware. They fit. The pins went in. So we continue. Change the rotors later. Alright, got the caliper and the pads in. Now we're just gonna put our pins in and then switch our hose over. And one side is done. These were the right size, everything went in perfect. And then once we're done with this, we'll do the one on the other side, and then we'll come back and cut our line, measure it, and go and find a replacement. I almost made my repair a lot harder. This one had the bleeder screw on the bottom, so this is the driver's side. I was about to finish tightening everything up and I realized that the bleeder screw was on the bottom. Yeah, it has to be on top. So this is the driver's side. Alright, now we got the right one on the right side. Bleeder screw on top. Your pads, obviously, they go in with the curved part down. Goes with the rotor. We're just gonna drop them into place. Make sure your little fin sleeves are in, because they're gonna hit the bracket there. And then just okay. See, the pins are hitting. You gotta push them out of the way. Alright, passenger side is done. Put our line with our new bolt and a new crush washer. Our pins went in nice. The pads though, they do have a specific way you put them on. You see this one? It only has the little tab on top. Well, down here it's got one on each side. And if you put them on wrong, your pads are going to sit in a different position. Just as far as these pads, because you drop it in like this and then you slide it in and you move your pins out of the way and it drops right in. But yeah, make sure your passenger, you got both tabs at the bottom, single one on top, and then the driver the same, bunch of little tabs, the double tab on the bottom and the single one on top. So I'm assuming when you hit the brakes, the rotor's going like this and it wants to lift the pad, you know, upward. There's the little tab there to catch it, and down here to stop it from going downward, if that makes sense. Alright, let's move on to the other side. Alright, to the driver's side, getting all the rust off. Still the hardware. Get all the rust off, spray it down with brake cleaner, grease it up, put our new hardware, put our pads and our caliper. We've got those ready to go over here. Remember, these are screw up. Alright, let me finish hitting this with the wire wheel. And we'll put the hardware on the caliper. Alright, driver's side caliper is on. The pins are 10mm. The hose line bolt is 14. And that's it. Look at how old these were. Look at that. I mean, they would have kept on going. You know they're good when they last this long. They're still functional. The pins could get greased up, the sleeves, but otherwise, if I could have just got these bleeder screws out, I would have been able to bleed it, but this one looks stripped completely on me. And sometimes even if you put a drill bit in here, then you use like some vice grips or something, the bleeder screw usually just severs. So alright, so cut the line, make your life easier. Don't use a wrench, it always ends up stripping it. Use a wrench and then you can put your socket on there. For this one it's a 10mm, and you gotta hold the hose. That's a 5/8 down there. And I'm pretty much just gonna hold the hose in place and then break it loose, see? And it doesn't strip. See? And now I can take this with me to the auto parts and match up my line. I just gotta measure the length of the line. But now let's go in there and cut the other end the same way. And then if you can't find your fittings for whatever reason, I grind this flush here and then I drill the little tube out with a drill bit, and then you can reuse your fitting. So alright, but hopefully we find ours. Alright guys, I'm gonna do the same with this one. I was gonna try to take it out with a wrench because it looks like it's pretty good condition, but I felt it rounding out the fitting, so we're just gonna cut it. Just go back and forth. We don't want no sharp pieces sticking out, so our socket can fit nicely. But that's that for that. Now we're gonna take our ratchet. Always works. I'm never taking a fitting out with a wrench again, or at least trying. Here's our other end. So now we just gotta follow our line. We just gotta trace our line out. I'm not gonna do all these bends if I don't have to. I'm literally just gonna the straightest route. But either way, I'm gonna take the line out just so I know how much I have. But I'm also gonna measure it with my measuring tape, and I'm also taking my line for reference. So, all right, guys, let me get it out. All right, we got everything off that we needed. We're gonna reuse our hoses. We're gonna go get our line. Then we're gonna install our line, and we're just gonna bleed it. And we're back in action. Back in action. Under $100. And 2.5 hours of my time so far. Alright guys, we're back with the F150. So when I went to go match up my lines, I found 2 lines. They were really close to size to my fittings. So I got this one first right here. You can see it. Your line's 3/16, but this is a metric thread. If you get metric thread, it's not gonna fit. You actually need US thread 3/16. The fittings, you can see, are almost identical. The one on the right is a little bit thicker. So the metric thread is the wrong one. Get US standard 3/16. I got 4.8mm times 152. That's the length. So yeah, don't get metric. Get US standard. This one fits perfect. So now we're gonna run that line, and then we'll finally be ready to bleed the F150. Alright guys, it's in. And that's how I'm gonna run it. They have very limited amount of lines now at the store, so and just don't let it rest on any metal, so it's gonna rust up right away. But that's how I'm gonna leave it. Everything's hand tight. I'm gonna bleed it now. As soon as I tighten these up, I'll be ready to go. Alright, we're tightening up this one. And it's a 10 millimeter, but there's still, look at that gap. You're gonna round it out. So what I did is I used my razor blade, stuck it in there for a nice tight fit, and now I can crank the line down so it's solid. Alright, so this side is done. Just make sure it doesn't touch any of this metal. Adjust it if you have to. And I got copper lines. Copper lines were the only ones they had. Alright, that's what we're gonna do right there. This one is done. Let's get the other one ready. Alright guys, we're set up. We got to bleed it manually. My hoses were leaking both sides. They weren't sitting flush, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up front, I'm gonna pump it 3-4 times, and then I'm gonna use a breaker bar, and I'm gonna hold the brake down with the breaker bar, and then I'm gonna lock it in place using the seat. And then we'll come back here, tighten that screw up, and I'm gonna repeat that on that side, and then I'm gonna do it maybe 2 more times on both sides just to make sure we don't got no air in the lines, and we should be good. Alright, I'll break this one free. Go up front and hit the brake a couple times. Hopefully it doesn't move. So here's the setup. 2, 3, 5. Lock it in place. Alright, now we're gonna do the other side. Where am I leaking from? Here. Why? Alright. This one stopped leaking on both sides. I should have replaced the hose, but this one's still in okay shape. But I'd let it. All I used was a bottle, piece of hose, my 10 millimeter wrench, my 14, my hose bolts. Like I said, hook it up. Hook it up, press the brake up front 3-5 times, hold it down, run back here, tighten it up, do the other side, then do this side, and then do the other side. Do it at least 2 times. And the brake pedal should get hard as you do each one until it's nice and tight, and then you're all set to go. But I'm gonna test this out, see if it needs me to do another one. Just nice and tight up front. Look at that. You can feel it. That was verified that it's not leaking. I hope it's not. And I don't trust those crush washers that came with the calipers. Let's see. Oh, it's leaking still from the crush washers. Why? It's so tight. Do I go any tighter? Both of them. Why? Jeez, both of them. I went super tight on it already. I can't go anymore. Damage the thread. I have to swap those crush washers out. Alright, pick up on my issue, guys. I took out the old crush washers off of the old calipers, and they're way thicker than those. Those are so skinny. Those are so skinny. Look at that. So that's my issue. I'm gonna swap them out. Hopefully I could get them in the right spot. But alright, get bigger crush washers if you get these calipers. Alright, so I'm not leaking anymore. I had to put original one in the front, and then I doubled up 2 of the new ones in the back, and that gave me enough pressure. Same with this one. Put an original one in the back, and I doubled up 2. Now we can re-bleed it. We're so close. Alright, hopefully it doesn't leak once I put pressure on here. Cross your fingers, because this one I don't trust. I know the other one should be good. This one I don't know, but this one. Alright guys, so we bled it again. That's how I set it up. And I go inside and I press it with the breaker bar, and then on the 5th, 6th press, I lock it into the seat. But it's holding. We're not leaking from the lines from either one. So I re-bled both sides. Feels pretty tight up front. So that was an issue with the washers. They're too thin. And like I said, I used my original ones on the inside, which were double the original ones. So if you're having an issue where it won't stop leaking in here, you feel like you're about to break the bolt, tighten it up. Here are washers. They're too thin. But alright, we're back in action. We're not leaking from any one of our fittings. We're not leaking from our lines anymore. We've bled both sides. So we're good to go. Now we can test drive it and see how it brakes. So start off with it right here. How much I put through, but that's alright. So let's test drive it. Let's put the tools away. We're at the gas station, guys. I don't see. Oh, this one is. Alright, success on attempt number like 20th. Gee. Alright, no more leaks. We're good to go. Yeah, that's my line. It's run all crazy, but it's gonna work.